Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let me go ahead and give a brief little review. In the last part, we had a number of events happen. Now, while Deku, Bakugo, and Asui were out on patrol, they had an issue. They were attacked. The city was quiet for about 2 weeks after Deku killed Hawks, and nothing happened. However, today was different. Izuku was attacked by a high-end Nomu, and him and it clashed for quite a bit of time. A good amount of Deku's suit was destroyed, and while he was injured more seriously, it wasn't nothing that couldn't be healed. He was covered in bruises, had a hole put in his hand, and he might have also at the very least cracked a few ribs. Other than that, the results do speak for themselves. Deku was able to fend off a Nomu until Bakugo came in to back him up. Then there was Mirako and Tamaki. Toru, she did try to assist. However, this thing was throwing around too much power for her to really be involved as a helper. Now, they were able to get this thing into retreat when Dabi came in and gave the order. Then, they went back to base and tried to clean up what they could of the lower end Nomus. Mirako, she was excited to hear about Deku's current level of power. And Deku, not only did he use Fa-Jin for the first time, he also used Smokescreen. Those two in conjunction are very powerful. And he did discover that this thing he can take down. Using Fa-Jin and One For All in conjunction, he may be able to kill this Nomu. Though, that will have to wait until their next meeting. Kami was also in the city. She came with a bunch of other people to help back them up in the assault on the city. And right now, with Mirako here, they're hoping to push into Todoroki territory. Now, they were able to shoot the shit the night before and talk about a few things. Deku got to see Kami again, and the two lovebirds, they did seem to be very joined at the hip. Now, she talked about how she may be leaving. If it does come down to facing monsters like the Nomus, she may not be very good at assisting. Her talents lie elsewhere. Now, Deku, he got a room inside one of the buildings, instead of sleeping in the tent tonight like most people currently are. While he may be being treated a little bit better, everyone knows he is vital if they are to push into the enemy territory. And Deku, he went to bed. He was worn out from the day's events, and his injuries, they are going to need quite a bit of energy to heal. Doctors are watching him, and they have been quite annoyed with his actions. Now, we do currently cut to Izuku. At some time in the night, he went to sleep with a few thoughts still rolling around his mind. And there is where someone, they do to bring a hand down onto his shoulder. Them going to try and shake him awake. And when Deku does go to roll over and open his eyes, he doesn't see much in the room. It's dark and he's groggy. Though, whenever someone does go to shake him a bit more to make sure he stays awake, he does begin to move. His mind finally clicking to full consciousness. And he does sit up and begin to look around. Huh? Hello? Shh. Quiet. Kami? Wrong. Toru. Toru? Did something happen? Whoa, what's going on? Not quite. Wait, how did you get in here? I locked the door. Deku getting ready. Him, with his hands still under the covers, beginning to have Black Whip turn into claws on his hand. If he does need to, he can swipe at her. She was already suspicious back at the agency. But this? It's worse. Danger sense didn't go off. No, if she wanted to attack him, he would have been alerted. She's being sneaky? Why? Listen, there's a lot we have to chat about. Is there? What are you doing here? How did you even get in here? I picked the lock, okay? Listen, her walking over to a desk and going to sit down. It's only whenever Deku does it or realize he can't see her that he does go to sit up and fully go to turn, reaching for the lamp as she does go to tell him. The lights aren't necessary. That might draw on more suspicion. Okay, so what is it? Okay. You saw me earlier, right? You know what I mean. Anyways, you saw that wristband I was wearing earlier? Yeah, what about it? What color was it? Yellow? What does that have to do with anything? So, you don't know about it? I don't know about what? Okay, this is getting annoying. Okay, I have one question. Who do you work for? What? Who do you work for? The Yagi family? Who do you work for? Midnight. Okay. Is that supposed to mean something? So you aren't a spy? I'm not a. Why would I be a spy? That's not good. Then again, why do you. This mystery is confusing me. Mystery? Listen, I'm just as confused as you are, maybe more. Okay, listen. I'm probably gonna get some shit for telling you any of this, so I'll be prepared for that. But you need to tell me something. Why do you have so many quirks? That's not important. It kind of is. Listen, you're suspicious. Very much so. But you're way too obvious. You're loud and proud. If you were a spy, you'd be doing a really shit job of being incognito. I mean, are you really just some random guy? Or are you actually All Might's son? I'm All Might's son. Toshi was my father. See, you're a shit liar. That's what has me even more confused. Okay, we're gonna make this very, very simple. If you tell anyone any of this, I will fucking murder you right now. Easy. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Why? Because if Midnight loses me, then she loses valuable information. And how do I know that's even true? I can kill you right now and claim that you tried to murder me. Because Midnight trained me. That won't exactly work. In fact, I'd say you get her mad. Okay. Let's just say I believe you. Why are you coming to me with all this? Simple. It's a mystery. I was trained to collect information and piece things together, make assumptions. Hell, I'm still trying to weed out a spy among the newcomers. And that's more problematic. What? You think someone's a spy? Wait, you think someone among the 11 of us are a spy? Not just the 11. The families will do that sometimes. Deep cover agents and people who you think you can trust. Really? Yeah. I have my own suspicions, but with you already this riled up, I'm not going to voice some of them. You think someone close to me is a spy? Okay, what about Shinso? I'm already vetting him. He was already suspicious, but the likelihood of him being a spy is maybe 50-50. I mean, he told us about the deal they made, but he could be tricking us with that. He gives us the information to stick to his oath. Otherwise, his death might be more gruesome if we find out he's lying. Okay. Explain that to me. Explain what? Oaths. If you break one, it's a very serious thing. You make an oath to another person and you sign it. Your ring is a sign of your oath. A personal oath, that's different. You two have something showing you're willing to put blood to your oath. If you do betray that, then any time you come after that person, it's personal. It doesn't just need to be something you understand. You'll get certain leeway. How so? If you have a blood vendetta, then it's simple. You'll be able to pay people for me. If I betrayed you, for example. I see. Yeah. Though you might owe someone a favor if you don't have compensation or something that they want. See, now that's bad. I'm sure. I heard about you at UA. I know you've already got some favors with the Ryoko family. And from what I've been hearing from Kimi, well, yeah. It sounds like someone's already gotten into your head and into your pants. Nothing happened. Sure, big guy. Whatever you say. Listen, Ryoko's a manipulator. I've been through some training that makes me a bit more understandable about things. But you're just some guy off the street. That's what I pieced together. So you're right. How do I know any of this is true? Call Midnight. She should be asleep. She'll be up late. I heard that she's got some prisoners she's interrogating. And some people, they've been found. More spies for other families. Trust me, she'll be at work. Deku going to turn his hand and go to grab his phone. Him gonna call Midnight as the phone does gonna ring. And right now, Deku, he does gonna wait. Before it does, go to answer. Hello, young man. So, why are you calling me? You're a bit too far away for a booty call, but you're also a little too young. Though I hear your birthday is coming up soon. Towards the end of summer? I might be able to work something out, but I highly doubt it. Okay, enough teasing, Midnight. I have an actual serious conversation. Can't blame a girl for trying to have some fun. My toys broke a little too soon, and, well, The one my apprentice is using, it doesn't look so good for him. So I need to find some entertainment somewhere. What is it? Toru works for you, correct? The phone going dead silent. Before her voice does carry all the seriousness she can muster in the moment. And how did you discover that? Because she's with me right now. She's trying to figure me out. Though she thinks that I'm some sort of street kid. So, before I swipe her head off, do you want to confirm? Toru? Yes? Sweetheart, what exactly did you tell the young man? The truth. Yes, she works for us. Yes, she's telling the truth. In the new age, a lot of people, they could be bought or their loyalties may remain somewhere else. I hope you understand, Izuku. She's just doing her job. And I see you've caught another curious young woman in your clutches. So what? She doesn't know anything? Anything involving you know what and you know who? Yep. And not I didn't order her to spy on me. Did he, sweetheart? No. Izuku just caught my attention. He used two brand new quirks in front of us. He fought a Nomu today. Really? So you're already getting more control of your powers? Yes. Powers? Wait, she knows about this? Of course she knows. Though, Midnight, with you as a witness, can I swear her to secrecy? You may, but she will need to give you a drop of blood. Something to show all of this. Then again, I've heard from the boss that you've been telling quite a few people that you're Yagi's son. Yeah, I have. It makes things a bit more understandable. It does give you some leeway, but you're blabbing. You're not trying to hide it. I'd be more concerned about you hiding those fucking quirks of yours. Tell her the truth, and while you're at it, swear that young lady of yours to secrecy, if possible. If she doesn't want to take a blood oath, then she won't. But that will look more suspicious on her. I can trust Kami. Young man, there's not a lot of people you can trust in this world. I'm sorry to say it, but that is the nature of life. If she doesn't take it, then that's a little suspicious. Not immediately a red flag, but just keep note of it. And while your young little, side piece is with you right now, I'd make sure to clear up quite a number of things. Who's in the know, who doesn't know, and what. Anyways, hold on a second. Well, I'll have to go. It seems like someone's bringing in some fresh meat. And I'm quite happy about that. Her grinning from ear to ear. And Deku, yeah. He doesn't like Midnight. She's crazy as shit. Then again, while he's here, before you go. Yes? Do you have Hawks' wings? Who do you take me for? The woman who's gonna mount those on my wall for me? Yes, I have Hawks' wings. I'm already getting them ready, and well, I'm at it, I will add. They're an interesting little trophy of yours. Though it's going to be a bit of a bitch to handle, I will do my best. But you will owe me a drink after. And I've even heard from some gossip from Ragdoll. She feels particularly stupid about her actions with you, taking you so lightly. Yeah. Tell her she'll get her 30%, by the way. 30%? Of what? The bounty? Yes. And, well, while you're at it, tell her it's a small little gift. Not to doubt me again. She's a feisty one. She may not like it. And, well, she may give it back to you. She can try. That's her deal, not mine. That's all, though. Him hanging up. In midnight, she does it to pull her phone away, trying to remember the last time someone had the gall to hang up on her like that. And she does gonna slightly start laughing. Right now, her returning back to business. And Deku does turn back to Toru. You heard her. I did. Though, this is gonna be a little awkward. How so? You need my blood. Do you have a knife or something? Him gonna turn, reaching for his belt and pulling off a small knife. Him handing it to her as he does gonna talk about it. So, how does this all go? Her turning and beginning to try and rummage around for something before she does gonna talk about it. It's simple. She gives a drop of her blood to him. It's preserved. Well, not preserved, but it's at least kept manageable. If he can do that, then it will prove that she gave her blood willingly, or in the very least, that things are going to be settled between them personally. Him nodding his head. And she does go to find a piece of paper before pricking her finger. Her going to put her finger down and go to wait. Talking about it. Right. Anyways, he can write out the terms on here. Though, her going to pull her hand back and go to grab the knife, closing it and handing it back to Deku, talking about it. She wants to hear before he starts writing. And Deku does it a sigh, beginning to explain to her about One for All. And she is alarmed. Then again, he can't really blame her. A quirk that can be passed from one person to another, if that person is willing. That is a fucking power. And what she saw him throwing around earlier today, it getting stronger from generation to generation, is an understatement. And the fact that he does get to tell her that he only used 50% when she asked if he was really throwing around 100% all on his own. And when she heard that Deku was only at half power, she fell silent. Not even caring over Deku mentioned the multiple quirks of the predecessors he does have access to. And, well, hearing about how there's 8 other people, she wonders if Deku has 9 abilities. Or 8. And Deku does get to tell her no. Yagi was quirkless before. I'm sorry, what? Her almost yelling. And she does go to wince. Right now, her going to somewhat lower her voice and express, sorry, I'm sorry. The boss was quirkless? All Might was powerless? Yeah, I know. When I found out about it too, I was surprised. Wait, so how many quirks do you have? You're not like some sort of man made Nomu? Technically, no. Though I've got a few abilities. Yeah, like a Nomu. Technically. That's not making any sense. Everyone who's held the power before me, if they've had a quirk, it gets stockpiled into one for all. That's how it works. Okay. All Might was quirkless, and so was I. You. I mean, that's hard to believe. Deku's phone going to buzz, and he does it to answer it. Hello? May I talk to Toru? Him going to hand his phone over to her. It's the boss. Her going to take the phone after a second and raising it to her ear. Yeah? Mm hmm. I know. You didn't. Yes, sir, You. Yes, I understand. I. Deku taking the phone back, yanking it from her hand with Black Whip, before he does it to pull it up to his own ear. Not I. Yes. Why are you yelling at her? She shouldn't have come to you with this information. This is something I rather would have kept secret. Not just from you, but potentially others. I was informed by Midnight that you were going to tell her. Do we have any other spies I should know about? Yes, we do. We have people planted inside the Endeavor family. We also have one implanted in the Genist family. Good. Any more surprises you want to inform me of? Not at the moment. Some don't seem relevant. Well, whenever they do seem relevant to you, go ahead and inform me. I mean, Jesus Christ. I was gonna kill her a few minutes ago. Plus, she was spying on me back at the agency. And I just thought she was a weirdo. Well, I see that her curiosity is getting her into dangerous places. Midnight will reprimand her when she returns. However, I've heard of your recent achievement. Congratulations, Izuku. I don't need congratulations just yet. Do we know what we're doing after we push back the Endeavors? We're hoping to head into their territory. Maybe see if he'd like to parlay. He's already done much whenever it does come down to losing some Nomus. Our situation, however, with Best Genist is getting worse. They're winning. They have Nomu as well. Then again, they're also enhancing their fighters. I see. Genist is there in person on the territory. If you can take him down, that would be quite beneficial to us. Okay, and what about Ryoko's faction? Things with them have been stirring. We are to believe very soon they may make a move. What are they waiting for? I don't know. They're either waiting for us to progress into Endeavor's territory, or they're waiting for Genist to make his own movements. If we lose the fall in one place but advance in another, we may see about punching through. Though, I'm sure once your achievement gets out, she may change her opinion. Her family is quite important to her. And I would even say She may even try to parlay an ally with us. If that situation does happen, that will be a prediction I did not account for. You haven't been using your quirk to look into the future? I've been avoiding that. I've already seen something in the near future that may happen that I'm not sure of. Does it involve me in any way or form? Yes. You may come to blows with Endeavor. I do not know when, I do not know why, I do not know how, but you will. I've even heard after your bounty on his son, he was not happy. That may be why the Nomu came after you. Take it down, Mr. Midoriya, and you will be compensated very well. I see. And are you going to try and threaten me if I say no? I do not see a need to threaten you. Though, does it make you feel better to know I can't give you that order or force you to do that? If I ask for a secret, Sir Nadai, if I ask for something, then I'm expecting you to tell me. You said before I would need to take my own actions into consideration, make my own moves, be the boss. Now I'm telling you this. Toru is swearing herself to secrecy, with Midnight as a witness. How do I go about doing all that? A blood pact, I see. Ordinarily, you'd want to get a bloody handprint. But for your circumstance, a fingerprint would work. We have information about her in our system. We have information about you. Slice your finger. Make sure you leave it there for a few seconds, or until as much blood needed pulls in the area. And then know this. If she does ever wrong you, it is in your full right to execute her, murder her, or take your own action against her in order to receive considerable compensation, be it making her a slave or simply getting your money's worth by selling her. She would lose all right to be a Yagi, and that protection would make her no one. Her rights would be taken away. That's a very serious thing. It is. And that is why I have not made you sign one. These pacts are nothing to joke about, Izuku. Understand this. Once you write out the terms, they cannot be changed. Anyone who's anyone will honor them, and those who don't, they will be in your way, and they will no longer exist. Deku nodding his head, talking about it. That was all he really did want. Good. I'm glad to clear this up. Now, I will not tell you who those spies are, but I'm assured she will tell you the phrase. Or she will tell you the greeting. Something like that. Different spies use different words, but they do mean exactly the same thing. Other than the red band, the yellow band, they do have certain things to differentiate themselves, be it the twirl of a wrist or a phrase. I'm sure she can teach you those at a better time. It is late, young man. I would recommend you get your rest. Him hanging up. And Deku does return back to Toru as she does go to sit there. Her fidgeting without him realizing. And he does it turn back to the paper, beginning to write a few things out in pen. And Toru, she does it to hear about what Deku's talking about. The parts of their conversation, information that was given from him to her, exposes a secret in the Yagi family. This secret is something many people cannot learn about. If she does blab, if she does talk, if she does write this information down or leave it for others to find, she is being removed from not only the Yagi family, but may be actively hunted by Izuku Midoriya. He will seek whatever recompense he believes he can get for her death, or with her indentured servitude. It does not matter who is in his way, who takes her in, or if she is really a member of the Yagi family. She will lose all rights. This action cannot be undone. And he does his stare down before slicing his own finger open. And Toru does it to watch Deku sign the contract. Now, he does feel a bit awkward about holding this. And while his finger is bleeding, he does go to wrap it up with some bandages inside the nightstand. Right now, her going to stand and going to lean forwards. Right now, going to whisper something to Deku. Before he does go to turn, and she does pull back. Her going to whisper something right into his face. She'd be willing to follow him if he does give the order. But, as for right now, there's a number of secrets people hide. It's her job to find those secrets. Be careful for who he does trust. She'll vet Bakugo and she'll even look into Kimi. And she would even be willing to swear loyalty to him. Ida's already done so. And, well, she'll even look into him. She can look into people he wants to trust. He does seem a little paranoid. I don't think you need to do that. I can, and I will. It's already a part of my job. But listen, if this does get out, your secret, you can't blame me. I don't know what you'd do to me, but my family is important to me, like yours. My father's dead. That's the truth. Yes. My real father is dead. My mother is the only person left in this world who I have. If anything happens to her, I don't know. I think I don't want to think about that. You'd snap. I get it. I've heard stories during my training, but some people aren't made for this life. I talked to Midnight. She can put you through a bit of training to endure torture. It's rough, but it can help you resolve. Give you some things to think about. Most people have to go through it at some point, and better to get it over with now. You're not a stranger to pain, I know. I have seen you move. You're kind of crazy. You know that? Thanks. That wasn't a compliment. Her leaning forwards and kissing him on the cheek, before going to stand and talk about it. She's gotta go. She's fairly certain her little adventure tonight may have already garnered some attention. Can you get the door? Yeah. Yeah, I need to wash up a bit more anyway. Maybe change my bandages. Right. Her going to wait by the door as Deku does open it. And when he does get to do so, she does go to quietly sneak out of the room. Right now, Deku leaning against the door in the hallway. And some guards do go pass by down the hall. Some seeing him as he does a bring up a hand and wave. Them waving back as they do to give nods of approval to him. And Deku, he does have a few things going through his mind. Him sitting back down on his bed and looking over this paper. It does mean quite a lot. And it does, doesn't it? You didn't tell her about being able to talk to us. Yeah. Why? It's not involved in the contract. She knows that I get your quirks. That's all. How crazy do you think she'd think I am? Not sure. Toshi, why didn't you tell me that she works for you? Because I'm not even sure if I can trust you at this point, young man. You want trust, you gotta give it, you asshole. Besides, I'm already dealing with Night Eye. Tell me something I need to know. Tell me something in order to gain my trust. How about that? Me and Nana have a bit of an arrangement already, but as far as I'm concerned, you've been bitching and moaning in my ear about where he doesn't want to help my goddamn family. You can't even tell me who killed you. I mean, that's some bullshit right there too. I have hundreds of enemies. Get in line. I've got enemies too now. And that's thanks to you. You didn't have to accept my power. You had a choice. Did I? You did, young man. The second user does get a say. And Deku does get to mentally turn to him. Everyone has a choice in this world. The weak will be crushed and the strong will survive. That's how it works. Though, what's yours is yours as long as you're alive. Uh-huh. I got it. You want something, kid? Safe houses. I've got tons of them. If we ever do lose territory, you might be able to find them. Some are hidden, some are good, and some, they're out in the open. Weapons cache, medicine, you name it. Though, I don't know about Japan. What do you mean? I know about our territories. I've even stayed in a few of them. But as for over in the enemy territory, that may be harder to understand. You either have to learn about it from them or torture someone for information. But if they're anything like ours, they're good places to hide. I'm sure Endeavor's hiding in one nearby. How sure? Well, his son's here. So not sure at all. You almost had him. I did, didn't I? Yes. Well, I'm sure the next time you face that young man, he'll be dead meat. I'm sure he will. Though if I get that Nomu, we can begin in advance. But then we might have to do a fucking machinist. Yes, more than likely. Though, Night Eye might have to take you over to Genist anyways. You take out the Nomu, get on a plane, go over there. Handle things on that end, and I'm certain you'll be alright. You'll stop Ryuko from attacking just yet and buy more time. But you need to think about the future. What to do next. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. No, you don't understand. Chizuki and Ridestro. Those two are fueling the war economy on drugs and enhancement supplies. You need to target them. Go after them. Either convince them to sell to us. Only us. Or you can see about what they'll do when you knock on the front door to kill them. I'm sure it will be a challenge. Getting there won't be easy. I'm sure. But it will be something. How so? We do have places in the area to hide. How do you... We have spies. Or did you just forget that, young man? Right. We can talk more about it tomorrow with them. See what we can do. For right now, though, I need to get back to bed. Him laying back down and trying to fall asleep. And the next morning does get a roll around. Deku does find his finger cut. And that does get to tell him that last night wasn't just some weird-ass dream. Then again, he needs to talk to the bosses. Talk to Ingenium, and talk to Tamaki. Seeing about what they need to do for the Endeavor family. And whenever Deku is eating breakfast with a few different people, Toru among them, she does get to sit across from him. Her talking about a few different things in a less serious tone than last night. And Deku, he does barely engage with her, trying his best to act casual. And people can see that Deku, he is a little uneasy. But after someone does come over to get him to talk to the bosses, they do take it that that was why. Right now, him heading off to go see them about something important. And whenever he does it arrive, they do have coffee and a few snacks set out. A few other people in the room here. All of them talking about possible ways to do things. And right now Ingenium does inform them upon his arrival that Mr. Midoriya may be able to lead the charge. However, they would need to make sure the high end that's targeting him is taken down. This will be a very delicate operation. They will plan it and then hopefully within 3 days strike. Him surprised. Before they do to fill him in on the plan. Attack the Todoroki Familia before they do make their next move. They pushed them back and gave them a bloody nose. Now it's time to give them something more aggressive. A couple haymakers to show they aren't on the ropes. Push them back and hell. Maybe even go for a KO. If they do move in and push them backwards into Endeavor territory, they may be able to continue an advancement. And that's the thing that Deku, he does go to nod with. Thinking it's the best idea. The Todoroki family, they've already got it out for him. And as long as they're here, they might as well try to do more. It will push back the Ryuko family, and, well, as for Genist, he's not so certain. Especially since that seems a bit more complicated. He doesn't know much there. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.